Today I'd like to talk about my experience volunteering abroad. When I finished university, I decided that I wanted to do some traveling, but I also wanted to volunteer as well. I had no idea where I wanted to go, so I started doing some research. And I found an organization called Global Volunteer Network. They send individuals all over the world to different locations and put them in contact with different organizations in which you can volunteer. I randomly chose Ecuador. There wasn't really a reason behind it. I thought it would be interesting, and 3 months later, on November 5th, I left for Ecuador. Once I was put in touch with the organization. The organization's name was the Katelyn Foundation. The Katelyn Foundation is a private, non-profit organization in Ecuador. It was founded in 1985, and the name Katelyn is derived from the Quechua language, meaning big forest. The main focus of this organization is the management of biological reserves found throughout Ecuador. They currently have 4 biological reserves, and the reserve I volunteered at had the same name as the foundation, and it was called the the biological reserve was called Katelyn. So this is the reserve I volunteered at. If you can see that arrow there, it's just a map of Ecuador. This station was located in the Amazon. It was founded in 1986, and since then it has become Ecuador's largest national level conservation organization. The reserve is made up of 2,200 hectares, and 70% of that is primary forest. The land was acquired by donations from several conservation organizations concerned with the rapid loss of the tropical rainforests in the Amazon. So when I arrived, this was the first thing that I saw. The one building is the kitchen where we had most of our meals, and the other house was the office. These were the cabins that we stayed in. They had mesh on the windows, so we slept under mosquito nets. So this is the research station. Every day we walked 1.5 kilometers there and 1.5 kilometers back for lunch, and then back again, and finally back for the end of the day. Many people actually do their master's degrees here and their PhDs. It's a huge, well-known research station throughout the world. So some of the things that I did when we were there, we did some gardening. A lot of everything we ate, we grew ourselves, or we had to bring in from Tena, which was about 30 minutes away. Everything was natural and organic. The one plant there is actually natural sugar. If you eat the leaves, it tastes just like pure sugar. We worked in the banana fields. These are actually plantains, but they had bananas and plantains. It was really cool because the monkeys were swinging around when we were working the fields there. We actually had to lug those home like 1 kilometer in a wheelbarrow up these gravel, windy roads, which was a lot of work, but it was fun. We made chocolate. If anyone's ever wondering where chocolate comes from, it's that bean. I made a compost filtration system. Since everything I had a huge needle, and I had to sew each individual plastic bag together. The most important thing we did there was this. Now, in the rainforest, a lot of the trees are becoming extinct or endangered because of the value of their wood. This organization plants these seeds when they reach a certain maturity. We replant them in the rainforest to prevent complete loss of certain species of trees. We had to use machetes to weed these gardens, because again, everything was done by hand, so it was a lot of manual work in the heat, which was exhausting. We learned about natural medicines. This tree, in English, they call it dragon's blood. You take your machete and you make a mark in the tree, and the tree bleeds, and the sap that it produces would be the same as using polysporin. So we had our evenings and weekends free. One weekend we decided to go to another volunteer organization, which was about 30 minutes away, and the only way to get there was by boat. It was more like a canoe with a motor on it. And this one that we went to was called Amazonico. Amazonico is an animal rehabilitation center. So where we focused primarily on trees, they focused on rehabilitating and rescuing animals that were native to Ecuador. An interesting story, most of these animals they have are pets. These were actually 2 pets. One was found on a bus, and the other one was found, a lady had owned him, and when she came home, he wouldn't let her in the house, so she had to call and get him taken away. They're best friends. They can never be let out back into the wild because they grew up domesticated. Another cool aspect of this volunteer organization, Amazonico, was this program. Now what is happening is a lot of species are going endangered, and especially poor communities will hunt certain species like monkeys and birds. And in an attempt to counteract this, this organization decided to start this pig. It's a pig program. So essentially, what happens is they breed these pigs, and they sell them to local communities for dirt cheap to help endangered animal populations. So in conclusion, if you're ever thinking about volunteering abroad, it's a really amazing experience, and it really does make a difference. I wish I had more time to show you everything I did, but I'll just leave you on this note. This is an advertisement here in New York, and the president, Colin Salisbury. It says ripples of difference.